You must read my mind, yoga class. All right. So find your seat. Let your eyes begin to close. And gently turn your attention inside. And take this time to settle into your body, onto your cushion, into the earth, and into this moment. So gradually beginning to release the day, letting go of the week, letting go of the future, the past, and arriving where you are right now. And feeling the connection of your lower body to the earth. And feeling yourself being grounded, held, and supported. Letting your sit bones, your tailbone spread down, rooting down into the ground. Feeling the heaviness of the lower body. And then from that grounding, letting your spine gently rise upwards toward the sky. And the shoulders spill down. Letting your heart spread open. Softening your throat and your jaw. Relaxing your lips and your tongue. And softening the muscles around your eyes. And softening your eyelids. And relaxing eyebrows and forehead. Crown of the head opening to meet the sky. Surrendering to your breath, to that gentle ebb and flow of prana, of life force. Arriving where you are. With each inhalation, drawing in fresh prana, life force, and energy. And with each exhalation, letting go. On your next inhale, reaching your arms up above you, palms touch. Exhaling, hands down to meet at your heart. Again, inhale, sweeping your arms out and up. Exhaling, hands down to the heart. And one more time, inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhaling, hands to the heart space. Thumbs resting along the sternum, resting on your heart, connecting to your heart, to what you need, to where you are in this moment. And from this sacred space, offering up your own intention, dedication, prayer. And letting your practice flow from this intent, this dedication, this prayer from the heart. Begin to softly open your eyes. And then just gently make your way out of your seat and over to your hands and your knees. So finding a tabletop, spreading the fingers, stacking the joints. And as you're ready, inhaling into your cow-facing pose. And just starting gently here. And then exhaling cat. So finding your own natural rhythm, listening to the wisdom of your body. Noticing areas where you feel the movement. And being mindful of those areas as you practice. You can always make any adjustments to find an expression of the pose that really supports you. So beginning to add on a gentle child. So from that cat, that rounded spine, just gently finding child's pose. And you might notice your hip flexors here. Breathing into them. And then from your child, inhaling forward into a cow. And exhaling cat and child. So the next time you begin to make your way into child's pose, finding a variation that supports you, even if it's just making micro adjustments. Reaching the arms forward so you're getting a nice stretch in your back body. Letting your head spill between the shoulders and breathing in. And breathing out. And then making your way back toward a tabletop, hands and knees. And from this position, extending that right leg behind you, squaring off your hips. And exhaling the knee toward the nose, rounding the spine. And again, inhaling, extend, lengthening, hips are neutral. Exhaling, drawing in and round. So just two more like this. And from this position, you're going to make your way back toward a tabletop. Open the knees so they're about mat width. Tips of the big toes kiss and spill back into a wide-legged child. And take a few breaths right here. And then coming back to your hands and knees. So you're back in that tabletop position. Just slow and steady movement here. Your belly button is moving toward the spine. And you're extending the left leg, and you're really focusing on keeping those hips neutral. And then exhaling the knee in, a little bit of a round. And inhale, extend, keeping the hips neutral. So exhaling, drawing in, going at your own pace, of course. Inhaling, extend. And exhaling, drawing in. And inhale, extend. So we're warming up the hips, strengthening the hips. Coming back to tabletop position. And this time you're going to make your way over onto your back with the soles of your feet on your mat. So we've got options here. And I should have said something about this before you got to your back. But if you have a block, you have the option of placing it between your knees. And really turning on the muscles that surround the hips. So turning on your adductors, strengthening them. You might have a block between the legs, but you don't need a block to do this. You can just imagine that you're squeezing something between those legs. So mentally turning the adductor muscle. All corners, the hips up, and it's not about height. Just kind of lifting up and exploring bridge pose and shifting the weight a little bit toward the inner arches and the big toes. So you're turning on those adductor muscles. And then as you exhale, you're slowly coming down and you're just moving with control. And we can do an arm movement here. So you can bring the arms overhead by the ears and inhale, gently lift those hips, turning on the adductors, inner leg muscles. And as you exhale, you'll slowly come down and bring the arms alongside the body at about the same pace. Like this, really about controlled movement. Inhale, lifting up, turning on all those muscles that surround the hips, arms overhead. Exhaling, gradually coming down with the arms, moving at your own pace. Inhale, lift, arms overhead. Exhaling as you slowly come down. So as you release that final bridge, you're just going to gently draw the knees in with one hand on each knee. And then you'll take your hands and wrap them around your shin, your right shin or your right thigh below the knee. And you'll as stretch. Uh-oh, cat is playing with my also a stretch of your left leg and a little bit of the left hip. Gentle. And breathing. Hands around the shin, the thigh below the knee, and really gently extending the right leg. And then drawing both knees in, and one hand on each knee, maybe hands on the shins below the knees. And you're going to spinal rock a few times. So you're spinal rocking up, woohoo, and spinal rocking back. And just making sure you don't rock onto your cervical spine, but everywhere else is fair game. Waking up the nervous system. And then the next time you rock up, you'll just cross those legs and make your way back to your hands and knees. Ooh, I'm going to put this behind me. Okay, I'm going to set up for down dog. We'll start with a puppy stretch, spreading the puppy paws, curling the toes, lifting the heels, getting into the plantar fascia, and drawing butt toward heels, reaching arms forward, head dropping down, taking a few breaths into the back body. And then as you're ready, planting those paws and lifting dog butt up to the sky, and just, if it feels right for you, a gentle walking of the dog, bending one knee, the other, and drawing one heel and the other toward the. You might move your hips and your low, getting some fluid into and the sacroiliac aside. And slowly beginning to walk to the front of your mat. With the feet about hip width, making the number 11, the knees bent. You can be mindful of the hip flexors, belly to thighs, head heavy, and you might wrap your hands. You might sway. Your breath. Let your and as you inhale, you'll begin to reach those arms out, lift up, lengthening the spine from the tailbone through the crown of the head. And then pressing those feet down. So again, turning on your adductor muscles, you're going to lift your heart up. Palms will touch above you. Exhale. Take a few breaths. You might come back to your attention, your dedication, your prayer. And then from here, inhaling, sweeping arms out from the heart, bending those knees up to the earth. Bend the knees enough that the fingertips can touch the floor. And from here, begin to step your way back toward plank pose. Be mindful of the wrists, spreading your fingers, shifting the weight toward the heels. Drawing your belly button up toward your spine, spreading the shoulders down the back. And your head is fairly neutral, so you're strengthening the muscles in the back of your neck. And from here, drawing your belly in, belly and lift into down dog. And take a few breaths in down dog. Free to walk your dog, wag the tail of you might move your shoulders a little, your head, your neck. Totally up to you. Breathing in. And breathing out. And from downward dog, once again beginning to walk to the front of your mat. So you reach the edge, let the feet be about hip width, in the number 11. Knees are bent a lot, belly to thigh. Hands either into the earth or resting on the upper arms. Head heavy. And then this time, place your hands on your shins below the knees. Obviously, it's your shins. And inhale, lift up halfway. And then exhale, pour forward. Inhale, reach arms out. Turn on those inner legs and lift all the way up to standing. Palms touch above you. Exhaling the hands to the heart. Coming home. Breathe here. Be here. So 2 more just like this. This is variation of Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation Series A. Inhale, sweeping arms out from the heart. Exhale, bending the knees to the earth. Beginning to step back toward your plank. You can always come onto the forearms if the wrist is bothering you. If you're on your hands, shifting the weight toward the heels and away from the wrists. The wrists will still have weight, but we also want to bring it back toward the heels. Legs, obviously, a lot more powerful than the arms. So we're bringing the weight toward the legs. And then ice cream scooping out the belly, you're going to lift toward downward dog. Just take a few breaths here. Doing whatever feels intuitive to you. Sometimes it's a good idea to check into the expression on our face. I have a tendency to clench my jaw if I don't pay attention. So softening muscles that don't need to be holding on. And gently stepping to the front of your mat. And finding your forward bend where your body feels and relaxed. And hands might be on the shin, on the thighs, fingers might be on the floor. Your focus is on the length of your spine. So placing your hands in a position that allows the spine to be long as you lift up halfway. Ardha Uttanasana, half forward bend. And then exhaling, pouring forward. Reaching arms out, turning on those inner leg muscles as you lift your heart up. Palms touch above you. Exhaling, hands down to meet at the heart. Coming home. So from here, I'm just turning around so you have a little bit of view. You want to make sure your feet are about hip width. And you're turning on those inner leg muscles, kind of like a block. On the powerhouse. And then reach your arms out and up. Take your left hand, wrap it around the right wrist, but keep those shoulders down. Press your feet down, turn on those legs. And as you exhale, you'll gently hinge to the left, pulling that right wrist a little, pressing your right foot down and finding your breath. You can look up, straight ahead, or down. As you inhale, you'll come back to center. And we'll switch sides. So right hand or exhale, you're going to sit into a high chair, shifting back toward the heels, drawing the belly in a little, spreading the shoulders down, opening the heart. Yeah, I think so, Kat. Breathing. I know. And now on an exhale, you're going to bend your elbows and squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then as you inhale, you're going to straighten your tippy toes. Whoa, Barbie doll feet. Yeah, I know. And then exhale, begin to bring your heels, those elephant, and sit into your chair. So we're doing this a few times. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Whee! It's a good balance exercise. And as you exhale, you're bringing your heels down, finding your elephant ears, and you're sitting into your high chair. Let's do this one more time. So Straightening the legs, reaching the arms up, coming onto the toes. And exhaling as you begin to bring your heels to your chair and open your elephant wings. Not wings, elephants don't have wings, elephant ears. And you're gonna reach your arms behind you. And you have options, of course. You might clasp your fingers if that's comfortable, or you might just keep your fingers reaching toward the floor. And then you're gonna begin to make your way down. Knees can be bent, straight. You can play with that. You might bend one knee and the other. You can play with that. And letting this go. Stepping back once again into your plank. Spreading those fingers, shifting toward the heels. Breathe. And this time from plank pose, letting the knees touch down. Tabletop position. And from here, spreading those fingers, spin your inner elbows out. If they do that, hopefully they do. Bring your shoulders down your back. Find a little bit of a cow facing pose, so you're dropping your belly, lifting your butt. Heart is a little bit forward. Be super, super mindful of your wrists here and your shoulders, which is why we want to spin the inner elbows out, because we want our elbows to be gluing in toward our ribs when we come down to protect the joints, the wrist and shoulder joints specifically. So butt is lifted, inner elbows facing forward, facing me. Fingers spread wide, heart a little forward. And you're practicing a push-up here, Chaturanga Dandasana variation. So gluing elbows into ribs, you're hovering. And then inhale, coming back up. A little bit of heat. So exhaling down. How far down is up to you? Don't push it with the joints. Inhaling up. Exhaling, hover. Inhale up. Heat, heat. So next time around, we're going to make our way all the way down. We're going to do it in a fun way. So we're coming into, what is it, caterpillar pose? Inchworm pose. You know, inchworms kind of, when they're inching along, their butt sticks up. Not that they have butts, but so anyway, so your butt is staying lifted like you're an inchworm moving along. As you come down, you're keeping your butt lifted and placing your chest and chin on the floor like an inchworm. And then you're extending through the legs. Reaching through those toes. You can shake out your wrists. And we'll play with a low cobra here. So tops of the feet on the floor, hands below the shoulders by the upper ribs. And keeping those feet pressing down, keeping the hip bones pressing down. Inhale, lift the hands, lift the heart, hover. And then exhale down. So a few more like this at your own pace. Inhaling, hover. Exhaling, down. Inhale, hover. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, hover. And this time as you exhale, make your way toward child's pose. I'm coming into a wide-legged child because that's generally more relaxing for me. But just find your own child. And take a few sweet breaths right here. Notice how you feel. And then begin to make your way back toward your hands, your knees, tabletop. Spread those fingers, belly to spine. And as you inhale, you're going to lift your right arm up. And then as you exhale, you're going to thread that right arm through the left arm. So two more like this. Inhale, lifting up. Exhaling as you thread. And one more time, inhale, lifting it up. And this time as you exhale and thread, if it supports you, place that right shoulder down, right side of the head down. You can stay here with your left hand on the earth in front of your face. You're kind of opening up your left shoulder, or you're looking up toward the ceiling. Options, which you may or may not choose to do, lifting your left arm up, left hand on lower back, left hand by your right hip. So completely up to you, any one of these. You can also take that left arm and reach it past your left ear. And sniff your armpit. And then sliding your left hand back to in front of your face, planting it into the earth, coming back to your hands and knees, tabletop position, and extending your legs back into plank, shifting back toward those heels, spreading the shoulders down the back. So drawing your belly in, ice cream scooping out that belly, lift up into down dog. Breathe here, be here. From down dog, beginning to walk to the front of your mat, taking your time. So we're going to sit back into our chair. Feet are about hip width or in that number 11 position. And you're sitting into your imaginary chair. Ooh, I just got swatted by a cat. And you're shifting toward your heels and drawing your belly in. And then you're going to begin to lift all the way up. Reach those arms back into your body. Take a breath, mountain pose. And be mindful of your hip. You're going to shift your weight into your right foot, and you're going to take your left leg and you're going to bring it into thread the needle position on top of your right leg. And you're going to bend that right knee and sit again into an imaginary chair. And hands might be at the heart. Flexing your, getting into that hip. Straighten your right leg, come back up. Lift that left knee and gradually place the left foot back down. And just notice how you feel. Breathe. You're going to switch sides. So shifting the weight toward your left foot, left leg. Taking that right leg, thread the needle in a standing position. Bending your left knee, sitting into that imaginary chair. Hands can be at the heart. Flexing your right ankle. And getting into that right hip. So what I'm trying to do is really keep You're going to straighten that left leg. So I'm avoiding kind of warrior two because I don't want to do too much hip opening. That can actually not be a good thing. Instead, a little bit more stabilizing. So you're back in mountain pose here. Spreading your feet into the earth, turning on those adductors. Turning on your core, dropping the tailbone, lifting the pit of the abdominals up. And like your atlas world, reach your arms out and up, nice and wide. It's a big world. Spread the shoulders down. And as you exhale, and spill. So you're stretching out the side of your left hip here. Your arms are wide, shoulders spreading down. Press your feet into the earth, turn on those legs. And then exhale, begin to hinge to the left. Left hand spills to the left thigh, reach through the right fingers. You can look up, straight ahead or down. Great. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, bend those knees, sit into your chair. Shift toward the heels, you can reach the arms up. And as you're ready, you're going to pour forward, and you might clasp your fingers if that supports you. Wringing out the shoulder blades. Using your hands. And making your way back toward downward dog, spreading those fingers. And shifting the weight toward your left leg, left foot. Inhale, lifting the right leg up, three-legged dog. And exhale, begin to bring your right knee toward your thumbs, so you're in plank with the knee lifted. And then two more like this. Inhale, lifting that right leg up. Exhaling the knee toward the thumbs. And one more time. Inhale, lift the leg up. And this time as you exhale, bend your right knee, open your hip a little. Just a little external rotation there. And then begin to bring your right leg toward half pigeon. So right knee by your right wrist, right heel by your left hip, your as-is bone, extending through that left leg. You can always have a blanket, a block under your right thigh, starting with a little bit of heart opening. You're going to feel that left psoas, so be mindful of that. Staying upright, or if it's supportive, especially for the knee joint, you're going to come down. So listen to your body here. Take your time. You can have your forehead on your hands in like a pillow position, making a pillow out of your arms, your hands. You can have your forehead on a block. And just notice how your body feels. Areas of discomfort, make sure it's a discomfort that feels like it's stretching you in a good way. And let the face relax. You might close the eyes. Breathing in. Breathing out. Giving your body time to gradually open into the pose. And slowly beginning to lift. And again, be mindful of that left psoas. And making your way back to your hands and knees, tabletop. And just noticing how you feel here. So stabilizing pose. We'll thread the needle with our left arm this time. So you're going to inhale, lift that left arm up. Exhale, thread it through. And two more like this. Inhaling as you lift. Exhaling as you thread. And then one more time. Inhale, lifting it up. And this time as you exhale and thread, if your left shoulder joint is okay with it, you're going to come down onto that left shoulder, onto the left side of your head. Right hand probably starting in front of the face. You're externally rotating your right shoulder. You're facing the ceiling. Staying here, breathing here, making sure this is supporting you. You certainly have the option of coming out of the pose or doing another variation of the pose. Maybe reaching the right arm up or placing the hand or by your left hip or extending it past your right ear, armpit sniff. And placing that right hand in front of your face. And gradually coming back to your hands, coming back to your knees, tabletop position. Making your way back toward plank, extending through those legs, shifting back toward the heels. And ice cream scooping out that belly as you lift up into down dog. Pressing the earth away from you with your hands. Breathe here. Be here. So shifting the weight toward that right foot, right leg. Inhale, lifting the left leg up toward the ceiling. And exhaling the knee in the direction of the thumbs for plank with the knee lifted. Inhale, lifting that left leg up. Exhaling the knee toward the thumbs for plank. And then inhale, lifting the leg up. And exhale, bend the knee, open the hip, fire hydrant. And then begin to gradually find your half pigeon. Take your time. So just noticing where the sensations are, what the sensations are, and making any adjustments that support you. Using any props that take you deeper into the pose. Staying upright or beginning to make your way down. Gently releasing the weight of your head if you come down. And breathing into those areas of sensation. Giving your body time to relax into the pose. And if you notice your mind wandering off, come back to your body, come back to your breath. Beginning to slowly unwind. Making your way back toward tabletop, hands and knees. And from tabletop, you're going to make your way toward dog. And we're going to find a wide-legged dog. So you might want to move around on your mat so that your feet stay on the mat when you come into a wide-legged dog and your hands are off of the mat and they're forward. It's totally up to you. But hello, adductors. We're stretching out those inner leg muscles. Woo, we're getting into the inner hips. Getting into the hip flexors quite possibly. So just whatever you're feeling, breathing into that. If it feels like it's not good for you, and back out. You can bend the knees. You can have your feet wider or closer together, so you can always play with it. So wide-legged dog from here. You're going to begin to walk your hands toward your legs. So we're moving toward a wide-legged forward bend. If your hamstrings, your low back are feeling tight, it'd be really nice to bend the knees. Again, you can have your feet wider or closer to each other. Farther away from each other, closer to each other. You can play with that. And then placing that right hand below your nose. And again, it can be really nice to bend the knees here. Left hand on the low back, keeping it nice and neutral. Hips are neutral, low back is neutral, and you're twisting to the left. Maybe you're reaching the left arm up, maybe you're looking up. And you'll begin to switch sides. So you'll exhale, let that go. Left hand where the right hand is. Right hand on the low back, keeping it neutral, hips neutral. You might bend the knees. You need to ready. Or you might reach the right arm up, begin to look up. And then exhale, letting that go. And you're going to heel toe your feet a little closer. We're going to move toward goddess pose, but I want you to be mindful of your hips and psoas. So toes are out, heels are in. It's actually a really good pose to do right now because we've got a super moon coming up. Like a super duper moon. Those goddesses, lunar and our lunar, and the female energy is connected to the energy of the moon. So toes are out, knees aren't really out, they don't externally rotate, but the hips are out. So be mindful of those hips. It's kind of like you're horseback riding on a giant horse, really big Clydesdale or draft horse. And you're dropping the belly a little. So if your hips are okay with this can be really good for them. Just make sure they're okay with it. And again, we're going to bring our arms into, elephant ears or goddess arms, goalpost arms. So very powerful pose. Breathing in, breathing out. Getting into the adductors as well. And we're going to play with this a little bit before we come out of it. So hands are going to come back to the hips, and you're going to drop your right shoulder. Inhale back to center, and exhale, drop the right shoulder down, open the left shoulder up. And we'll just do this one more time each side. So inhale, center, exhale, dropping that left. Inhale, center, exhale, dropping the right shoulder down. Inhale, center, and begin to release, straightening the legs. Woo! Toes face straight ahead. And once again, you're going to come down toward that wide-legged forward bend. You can always bend the knees. Fingertips coming toward the earth below the face. You might shift toward the balls of the feet and away from the heels. And then walking those hands forward for your wide-legged dog. Breathe. And notice maybe if your wide-legged dog feels different this time around. And then kind of like you're playing Twister on your mat, you're going to come back to a regular dog. So you might walk yourself around. And then you're going to begin to make your way to your hands, your knees, tabletop position, just noticing how you feel here. And spill back toward your own child. Take a few breaths. from child's pose, begin to roll yourself up so you're sitting up onto your heels. And then make your way back to your hands and knees. And from here, kind of like that inchworm position that we did before, you're going to externally rotate your inner elbows, so spin them out so they face forward. Drop your belly a little, lift your butt a little, heart is slightly forward to the shoulders. And practice moving into your inchworm, into your modified push-up. So gluing elbows into ribs and gradually coming down with the chin and the chest on the floor, the butt lifted, and then extending through the legs, reaching through the toes. So reaching your arms forward like you're flying. Full body stretch from the fingertips through the tips of the toes. And keeping both hip bones, both as-is bones pressing into the ground. You're going to lift your left leg just like an inch or so. Lift the right arm, the chest will lift, but you're looking down at the earth. And then exhale, release. And inhale, lift that right leg an inch or so, lift the left arm. Exhale, release. One more time each side, so you're moving with control. Inhale, floating left leg and right arm up. Exhale, release. And inhale, floating right leg and left arm up. And then exhale, release. Sliding hands below the shoulders. And once again, finding your child. Breathing in. Breathing out. And as you're ready, rolling yourself up, sitting up toward those heels, and this time moving toward bound Baddha Konasana. So shifting over toward your buttocks. You can always sit on a folded blanket or a little bit of a pillow if you want a little bit of lift. The soles of the feet are together. And again, be mindful of your adductors and your hips here because they're getting a pretty juicy stretch and we want to make sure that they're okay with that. The tops of the feet with the thumbs on the soles. And you're lengthening your spine, pressing the shoulders down, opening the heart, breathing. Being in the moment just as it is. Now, place your hands on the outsides of those knees. You might shift back toward the tailbone and gradually draw the inside of your legs toward each other. And you're going to walk your toes to the front of your mat if they're not already there. So the feet are about hip width at number 11. And there's a couple of feet between the heels and the sit bones. And the hands are on the backs of the thighs below the knees. You're lengthening the spine, opening the heart, spreading the shoulders down. So moving with control here. turning on those inner legs like you're squeezing a block between them. You're going to reach your arms out, ice cream scoop out that belly, and you're going to begin to slowly descend. And then once you come all the way down, find a little mini Shavasana here. Let your whole body melt. Release all tension. And before you get too comfortable, we are going to do a few more poses before Shavasana. But if you have a strap or a strap substitute, you might want to move around and gather it in. So just having that nearby, maybe above your head. And we're going to start with some more bridges. So walking the heels in the direction of your butt. Feet about hip width. You might have a block between the legs, or imagine that you are squeezing something between the legs, turning on those inner leg muscles. Turning on some core there as well, and pelvic floor. So again, arms are going to be overhead by the ears, pressing the feet down. Inhale, lifting those hips up. And maybe this time around, you'll lift up a little higher. Maybe. Listen to your body. And then as you exhale with control, you're going to slowly descend, keeping those inner leg muscles engaged. I'm doing this a few times, like at the beginning of our practice. Inhale, lifting up. Pressing those hips up, reaching the arms overhead. Listen to your body. And exhaling as you begin to slowly descend. Arms alongside the body. So I'll guide you, but go at your own pace. We'll do 2 more if that supports you. Inhale, lifting up. Arms overhead by ears. And exhaling as you slowly come down. Arms alongside the body. One more time if you're moving with me. Inhale, lifting those hips up, arms overhead. And exhaling as you begin to slowly come down. Arms alongside the body. Thread the needle in this position, in a supine position. Take that right leg to start. Place it on top of the left. Staying right here is awesome. You know what we're going to do? So your body is in a thread the needle. From here. The arms are going to be alongside the body. Palms pressing down. Use your upper body to support your lower body. So really pressing those arms down, turning on your back muscles, your core muscles. And inhale, lift up. What? You're not going to lift as high. And then you'll exhale and gradually come down. And we're going to switch sides. So you're going to place the right foot down. Place the left leg on top, threading the needle. And if this is supporting you, you'll lift up into bridge, lifting the hips. Again, the focus is not on height, it's just on lifting up. Oh, my left hip is a little grumpy. And then slowly come down. All right, so we'll do that one more time on each side. Right leg in thread the needle position. Begin to lift up toward your bridge. And then slowly come down. Place the right foot down, left leg and thread the needle, and find your bridge. Kind of mini bridge. And then slowly come down. Place that left foot down. Right leg is going to be on top, and we're going to do a traditional thread the needle. So you can stay here with the left foot and the arms on the floor. Or you might lift the left foot off of the floor and keep the arms on the floor. You might have a strap around the back of the left thigh and hold on to that. Or you might have your hands around the back of the left thigh, just as long as your cervical spine remains neutral position, your neck, your shoulders are in a neutral position. You have the option of flexing your right ankle, that's up to you, or the left ankle, up to you, or not. What feels supportive to your body. You have the option, if you're in this variation, to draw your left leg in a little closer and press the right leg a little bit away. The key word is a little, keywords, because just anatomically, you're not going to be able to move that far, so don't push it. If your hands are wrapped around the left thigh, you have the option of extending the left leg up. Breathe wherever you are. And then you'll release that left leg. If it's straight, you'll bend the knee. And I'm going to give you an option here of releasing the hands and bringing your right leg on top of your left in a cross-legged position. Again, be mindful of that hip. And then moving toward a twist with your right leg on top of your left, which would mean you would twist to the left. So just paying attention to your body, twisting over to the left. You absolutely have the option, if your body is asking for it, to release the cross of your legs and stack the right leg on top of the left. So be mindful. Having the right leg crossed over the left, for me, is almost always uncomfortable, and I just have to be mindful of the degree of discomfort. If it's a degree that means I'm moving into injury, then I want to let it go and have my right leg stacked on top. If your right shoulder is really lifted off of the floor, shift both shoulders over to the left a little. Head can be neutral, gazing at the ceiling, or you might turn the head to the right. You might have your left hand on your right leg. You might close your eyes. Breathing in, breathing out. And you're going to begin to unwind here. So step by step, coming back to center, uncrossing the legs if they're crossed. Placing the right foot down, thread the needle on the left side. Step by step. Finding a variation that supports you this evening. You can play around with it. Pressing the shoulders down, keeping the head neutral, the neck neutral. Maybe flexing your left foot, your right foot. Maybe drawing your right leg in a little and left leg away a little, maybe not. Noticing the quality of your breath, state of your mind, expression on your face. If hands are wrapped around the right thigh, maybe extending the right leg. And breathing in. And breathing out. And bending that right knee if it's extended. Releasing the hands, perhaps crossing the left thigh on top of the right. Setting up for your supine twist, arms out to the side. And then twisting over to the left. Take your time. I'm sorry, twisting over to the right. Twisting over to the right. Shifting the shoulders to the right. Making any adjustments that your body is asking for. So practicing a parigraha, non-attachment. So you're not attached to performing, quote unquote, any of these poses, to feeling a certain way in any of the poses, or looking a certain way. Instead, you're really honoring the wisdom of your body. So that the practice is about supporting you. You can close your eyes, relax your face. Breathing in, breathing out. And being right here, right now. And nice and gently coming back to center. Letting this go. And you might gather up that strap, or you can use a towel or a tie or a scarf. You can use really long socks if you have them. So we're going to start with our left foot on the floor, and you're going to probably place some kind of strap or strap substitute around the ball of the right foot, and extend the right leg. So the right leg is straight, might be closer to the floor than the ceiling. That doesn't matter. We want to get into our hamstrings. If the right knee is bent, you miss the hamstring muscles that cross the back of the knee. So again, the shoulders are relaxed. The head and the neck are neutral. Breath is steady. It's probably a micro bend in the elbows. And your left leg is either bent or extended. If you extend the left leg, just be super mindful of that left psoas. Okay, yeah, okay. Breathing in. Give your body time to be in the pose. Breathing out. And if the left leg is extended, also be mindful of the lower back. So moving toward that adductor stretch, taking the strap into the right hand, left hand on the left as is bone area. So we're making sure our left our left hip does not move with the right leg. So both hips are neutral. And if the left knee is bent, you can just drop the knee out to the side, but still keeping those as is bones facing the ceiling. And you're gradually over to the right without letting your left leg move at all. So the left leg is an anchor that keeps your hip joint stable, your SI joint stable, and your pelvis stable. I'm just saying hello to those adductor muscles in the right leg. Woohoo! And to come out of the pose, you have the option of bending your knee a little, gradually coming back to center. And we're going to switch sides. So you're going to bend that knee, release the strap. If it feels good, you can give yourself a little hug here before you move to the other side. Take a few breaths here. And then as you're ready, switching sides. So probably starting with the right foot on the mat. And placing your strap around the ball of that left foot and gradually extending, being mindful of the low back, the hamstrings, the shoulders, the neck, the head, keeping them all neutral. Flexing your left ankle. And breathing here. Right leg either bent or extended. Just giving your body time to receive. And we'll move into that adductor stretch. So left hand on the strap, right hand on that right as is bone area. Again, just essentially, I mean, it's okay if you externally rotate the right hip if your knee is bent and you want to drop that knee out. That actually might be more of an, external rotation. You just want to make sure that you're not rolling the right side over to the left. So keeping stabilization in your SI joint, in your back. And the hips they're not moving. The right leg isn't moving, really, what I should be saying. So keeping that right leg stable as you open your left leg to the left. Because you're obviously getting into adductor muscles inside that left leg. And rotating the left hip. But keeping the right leg stable. Breathing in. And breathing out. And then as you're ready, you'll slowly come back. Bend the knee, release that strap. Maybe give yourself some love here. Give yourself a hug. Take a few breaths. And you'll begin to set yourself up for Shavasana for your final relaxation. So you might want to put on extra clothes or have an eye pillow over your eyes, but take your time finding a comfortable position. Dropping down into the ground, surrendering to the earth, letting go. Let your whole body relax. Your breath. Again, cultivating santosha here, contentment. In this beautiful pose. Parigraha, non-attachment. Ahimsa, compassion. Letting go of tapas, letting go of effort and discipline. even expressing gratitude toward yourself for practicing tapas by being on the mat this evening. Just taking care of yourself. Letting your face relax. Let your throat relax and your jaw. Let your shoulders spill down. Let your heart spread open. Let your back body melt. Let the belly soften. Feel your hips letting go. Let the legs drop down into the earth. Relaxing your feet and your toes. The arms spill down into the ground. Relaxing your wrists and hands, fingers. Let your mind become wide open and expansive. Let your brain pour toward the back of your skull. Letting go. Letting go. Letting go. And slowly deepening your breath. Inviting movement into your body. Maybe reaching the arms overhead and stretching your legs out in front of you. Stretching out the entire length of your body. And drawing your knees in and rolling over to one side and resting in fetal pose. And gradually returning to your seat. Hands meeting at your heart. Coming home. Coming back to your intention, your dedication, your prayer. Perhaps creating a new one. Or just listening to your heart. And bowing your head to your heart, to that wellspring of infinite compassion and love, and to the true teacher that resides within you. Om Shanti. Peace. Namaste.